Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to New York City, where a New York man has been charged with criminal impersonation as police say he falsely claimed to be an FBI agent who had been injured in the line of duty after previously lying about being shot by an intruder. It's a web of lies, Jeff. A giant web of lies. According to the Westchester County Police Department, the incident unfolded on July 4th at Playland Park, where undercover officers encountered a man wearing what appeared to be an FBI badge while walking a dog wearing a vest with canine patches. The 47-year-old reportedly told officers he and the dog had both been shot while on duty. He then showed them a gunshot wound on his knee before claiming the dog had bitten and killed the gunman responsible. Here's where it gets good. Officers were immediately suspicious of the story, and when a nearby restaurant handed them a business card that the man identified as John Fiore had been giving out for a dog walking service, they began looking into it. Investigators were unable to find any record of an FBI agent matching the man's identity or any recent shooting involving an FBI canine. Instead, their investigation led them to a previous New York State Police announcement involving Fiore. It turns out he had previously reported being shot by an intruder, but it was concluded that the wound had actually been self-inflicted. A search of his home revealed illegal weapons and narcotics.
Yay!
Yay! As officers escorted Fiore to the precinct, he allegedly attempted to get rid of the fake FBI badge by knocking it from his waistband and trying to kick it away. He was charged with first-degree criminal impersonation, a felony, and is due to appear in court on July 14th, which was the day we recorded this. I'm sure it went well for him.
The feds love when you dress like them.
Yeah, if you're going to have a badge that says FBI, it should also say female body inspector.
I was kind of expecting it to be that, and they were just like being dicks, and that it was actually like an actual FBI. Like, Jesus, dude.
You could see a really autistic FBI agent doing something like that. Like it says FBI. He's not FBI. It's a different thing that has the same letters.
Oh yeah, I was watching something on like or some interview with a biker, and he was like, yeah, the dude pulled up with a Sons of Anarchy cut, and his buddy was like, oh man, like we need to go beat that guy. But he's like, he's a dork. Why do we care?
And he likes the TV show, you know.
Right.
He's a fan of a TV show and a nerd. Like, leave him alone. Oh my God. Anyway, so we have all the things to talk about from it. I gotta say, it was the hottest match I ever shot, but it wasn't the most uncomfortable match I ever shot.
Right.
For sure. All of the things around Rushmore State coming up in just a few. First, patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. It's only $3.57 a month, and you will get all of every single second episode that we have on Fridays, the Patreon episode. I'm all out of 407 comps, but I think I can get more. So look for that here this week for some more 407 comps. Nobody gives a shit about the red 507 comps I ordered, even though it's a really good deal. But if you want one, notanothershootingshow.com has those. And we have snazzy new logo t-shirts available if you want one of those. Also, go subscribe and change the notification bell on YouTube for Not Another Shooting Show. Like and subscribe some videos. We'd appreciate that. Also, check out our Reddit, r/NASS. MW Activewear, the finest jerseys you can get for your match. How fucking baller were the jerseys for Rushmore?
But you did a really good job on those ones.
They're fantastic. I'm a little jealous, honestly.
Right. I don't always love the red, white, and blue because it's always red, white, and blue, but that was a very, very, very well done.
It was well done, red, white, and blue, yes. It was mostly red. It wasn't red, white, and blue. It was red with some blue and some white thrown in there.
Yes.
And then the competitor jerseys were blue with the same kind of theme. No, they were awesome. Cops match in Ankeny, Iowa, July 26th. That's a charity match where you can buy mulligans to either make your buddy reshoot or you can reshoot for yourself. Illinois section, August 15th and 16th in Havana, Illinois, and Minnesota section, August 29th and 30th at Forest Lake. Somebody asked me out in Rapid City this weekend, how come you don't talk about this match? I was like, because they didn't ask me to.
Right.
How can we talk about Illinois section? Because Hannah asked me to. That's literally the only reason why.
You have to remind us multiple times, but all you have
eventually
to do is
it'll
ask.
get on the list.
Right. You just have to remind us and also be like, hey, put it on the list right now. Confirm. I need you to confirm it because we have missed many, many things by going, huh?
And then send another message 15 minutes later. Did you actually put it on the list?
Or you just say it to get me to fuck off?
Actually, what I do for like right before we started recording, I got a voicemail for a guy who wants to do a private group class, and I read the voicemail that he left me, and I texted him back and said, hey, I'll get a hold of you tomorrow. I don't have time to talk tonight, but I'll give you a call tomorrow. I'm going to not open his reply text message because that is my cue to call him back tomorrow.
Correct.
Because if I open that, I'll forget. And so if anybody ever texts me and I haven't replied, it's because I either opened it and totally forgot, or it's still unopened and I'm still not quite around to replying yet for whatever ADD reason that's happening.
Yes.
So it was hot as balls.
Oh, God.
In the Black Hills this weekend. I don't know what the actual temperature was.
100. Well, my at one point my truck's at 114 degrees, and all I could think of was Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. Oh God, I love that movie. What of all the movies they could remake? Why not that one?
I mean, you got to do that one absolutely correct, and only Mel Brooks with Richard Pryor as a writing assistant could get that done correctly.
Yeah. It's so good. No, I think the official high temp was around 105 on Sunday. It was like 102 on Saturday when staff was shooting. It wasn't so bad in the morning. But it was also really windy. So that did two things. One, it kind of helped keep you cool. I didn't really sweat much because the wind was blowing so hard.
Right. But it dried you out.
It dried you out and covered you, and whatever was wet was covered with dust.
Yes.
So that was a thing to deal with. The bay I was working on Sunday, I got a little less dusty just because we weren't exposed to the gravel road that goes through the range that gets blown all over the place. They're hoping to have some sort of either a chip seal on that gravel road next year or, asphalt would be even better so the dust would just go away. But anyway, if there's a big match out there, it's windy. It's just there are times it doesn't blow 30 miles an hour in the Black Hills, but that's just been the luck.
Not when we're having a match.
Not when there's been a match out there. I said before, it's the hottest match I've ever shot. It's not the most uncomfortable match, though. As long as you kept up on water, it was fine. Yeah.
I was able, my squad backed up into another squad, and so I went and got my truck and sat in air conditioning, and that was a very good move because it was starting to get quite unpleasant. But it was like, I'm an indoorsy person, so I don't do like real man shit. Because Owen was in my squad, and he's like, I'm used to dealing with wet heat, not dry heat.
Yeah.
And so his systems and what he does is not working at the same because the dry heat's just sucking away all of the moisture in your system. But I try to stay up to date on the water. That was a little tough, but I don't know. I wasn't, like you said, I wasn't as uncomfortable in South Dakota as I was in Nebraska. Like that.
Oh, yeah. Cornhusker was worse.
Yeah.
As far as how uncomfortable it was. It was really hot, but a lot of times when it's really hot in South Dakota like that in the hundreds, it's going to be really windy with a south wind. So, and that's exactly what was going on.
That helped. The most annoying point for me was my gun was getting hot as shit. I actually had to
really?
Yeah, I had to put a towel over it because it was becoming uncomfortable to touch.
Oh yeah, metal gun, sure. My plastic Glock never got that hot.
But mine worked the whole time.
Well, that's a punch. That's a kick below the belt there.
Oh yeah,
friend.
Yes, I'm sure that
I had all the things happen to me this weekend. If you don't follow me on social media, but you listen to the podcast, I had the worst fucking match of my life for every reason possible. Just about. If it's a bad thing that can happen at a match.
Well, you didn't have one. We had a medical emergency on our squad.
I didn't have an actual medical emergency, no.
One of the guys in our squad started cramping up and like was kind of having trouble moving around, and so they moved him to later in the stage. We got him some water, and he decided he was going to try it, and it was the bay where you started with your gun on the table, but you were like standing back.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. And he went up to grab it and grabbed the gun, and his calf started cramping. And so he's like in pain, gun in hand, and we're just like, our LCL, stop, please. Like, what's going on? Like, this dude, like, please. And it was kind of I've never actually had a medical emergency like on a stage. I've actually, I've almost seen medical emergencies twice. Luckily no one shot themselves, but that was the first time. And I kind of think no one has really experienced medical emergencies because everyone's kind of like,
well, of the shooter while they're during the course of fire.
Right. It
like I've never seen that ever.
Right. And so it kind of became like they're trying to get him to unload and show clear while he is in like agony. And it kind of I think he was able to unload and show clear, but I was kind of standing there going, I would have grabbed this dude's gun, but like, hey, sir, I'm gonna grab it. You can let go. Okay, I'll unload and show clear. Like, do that part, and then we had to walk him back to the bench so he could sit down, and they're like, and I was like, has anyone called Bruce yet? And they're like, I'm like, we should probably call Bruce just because he has a golf cart. Like, let's start there.
Yeah.
At minimum, we can get this dude to somewhere that isn't a dirt bay, and. So Brucey came over and was helpful, and unfortunately he wasn't able to finish the match, and he just got behind on water, or the heat. I mean, it was 108 degrees or something.
Well, in the bays though, it was probably in the 1-teens because that gravel, rock, whatever, it's just cooking.
It's cooking. The metal shelters are not the best place to stand. You're in the sun, like.
Some of them were missing roofs after the windstorm last winter, so at least it was venting.
Yeah, or bullet holes. What one piece of advice that I want to give to all match directors everywhere: put the shades really close to the back of the stage. We've all made this mistake. We do this on Bay 5 every year. Is we put the stage too far forward, and everyone goes and hides under the shelter on Bay 5, and then it's like a 20-yard walk for them to get up to start walking to go paste. And because on our last Bay 12, all of them were much closer, and so we were much more active than we were when it was like a 15-20-yard walk to walk to a target.
There's a reason for that though with some of the stages, and it has to do with the issue of the bullet skipping in those bays. So they were trying to keep them downrange enough so that the berms would actually catch the bullets.
Right. No. I get that part. What I'm saying is put the deployable like tents shelters close to the back so there's shade, because holy shit, that sun is not friendly. My neck is so burnt.
That's one of the silly things. Like, that range is awesome, but of the things they did that I'm sure someone in the design process thought, oh, this is really cool. They put skylights in those shelters. What the fuck for?
Right.
Like, just put whole pieces of metal on the roof. I mean, luckily, a bunch of them got trashed in a 100-mile-an-hour wind gust that blew through the hills last December. So, you're not like there wasn't even really total shade in the middle of the day there either. It was just sort of a weird, like, why did they do this? There's that, and they're just battling these gigantic bays. That's the problem with those giant bays is they're it's hard to deal with that logistically. I want to talk about stages because the stages were fucking awesome.
I did. I enjoyed most of them. Yes.
I'm gonna talk about me for a while here.
Okay. Have fun.
I also
talk about me. Want to talk about I want to talk about me.
Did I mention? No, we were talking about this before we hit record. I'm apparently allergic to the desert because my throat got sore, my nose started running, I started sneezing out of nowhere on Friday, and then I was on Zyrtec all weekend, like trying to keep it together, and it dawned on me, oh, this happened to me in Utah last fall. Same damn thing. I go to desert, my face explodes. Fun. So I had a rough first stage. We started on 4, and I ran by a target that I never saw in the walkthrough. I was first. We did alphabetical by first name, and Austin Adams was on my squad, but Andy comes before Austin, so I went first. Never saw that there was a paper with a no-shoot right as you got into that second shooting area. Never saw it in the walkthrough. So that happened. Great way to start the match with an FTSA. Shot the stage kind of slow. I missed my draw so bad. I was basically hanging on to the bottom half of the grip of my pistol. At least that's what it felt like anyway. Just, when you put like grip chalk or enhancer or whatever you use on and it's fresh, like that first time,
yep.
I hate it. It's awful. I should have remembered to put it on sooner. I usually put it on sooner, so it kind of wears away a little and then it's more normal. It was not good. But so that happened. And then we went to the Humvee stage, which I thought was fun. Apparently everyone from Omaha thinks it's stupid, but they're wrong, and that's okay. They can be wrong. It just would have been a bunch of tuxes if, Omaha had built the stage. Why have a Humvee to shoot from? Which you fit in the Humvee, didn't you?
Just barely.
I saw the video. You got in.
I got in.
You had less trouble getting in than I did.
It took some finagling, and I was worried I was going to hit my head, and it was not my favorite shooting position I've ever been in.
Well, no, it wasn't mine either, but still, it was something different. I thought it was fun.
It was different, and I got to post a video because I was cussing out Bruce as I was getting into it.
I thought it was fun. I'm just amazed that it did not get hit by a bullet in any of the what do they call the things between the doors and the windows?
The A-frame, the
pillars. Pillars. That's the word I was looking for. Was pillar. I wanted to say pedestal, and I knew that was wrong. So went and shot that. Got myself another couple of mics, even though my time was really good. The thing about shooting a match out there is it's sort of like Iowa. Really big bays. Sometimes those wide open targets that are wide open, yeah, they're wide open, but they're really far. And you have to give them a little more respect than you think you should. And I did not respect a couple of targets on that stage, and I I shot them like they were 7-yard targets instead of shooting them like they were 17-yard targets. So, a couple more mics there. Then we went to the double bay I ran with the swinging plate and the X-shaped shooting area, which actually that was a rip-off of a IPSC stage from like the 90s. Like an IPSC World Shoot stage, I think.
Yeah. From
back in the 90s. And the first one, I had another mic. I was having such a great match. And then but then on the second stage, I had the best time on that for a long time until freaking Aaron from my club, or from around here. He has his own club, I guess I should say. He shot it in like 7 seconds and just destroyed everybody in the entire match. It was amazing to watch. The trick to the fastest way to shoot that, I don't know if anybody on your squad looked at doing it this way. Run to the middle. It was an X, and there were 3 sets of activator popper and swinger. And 2 of them were right in line with the 2 lanes of the X of the shooting area, and the other one was in the middle, and you had to be at the end on either side to get at that one. So on the beep, I just ran to the middle, shot the popper ahead of me, shot the popper to the left, then I shot the swinger ahead of me, and then I shot the swinger to the left, and then I ran to the end, and then I shot that last one, and 8.67, I think, was my time.
Yeah.
And Aaron did the same thing, except he shot it basically moving the whole time and cut another second and a half off. And his third shot hit the hardcover steel in front of the swinger. So if he would have just not shot the third shot, he would have shot it in 7.18.
Nice.
It was fucking great when he shot it. But anyway, and then came the end of the day. I already had 4 mics in. No, I had 5 mics in 3 stages. Actually in 4 stages because there was a double bay. So I had a mic on every bay in the first 3, and then it really got squirrely. I go up to the line, I make ready, and here is how it sounded. Stand by. God damn it! And then it was just a whole bunch more of that. And mag throwing. I threw 2 mags.
Nice.
I had a squib.
Aw.
I didn't think it was a squib in the moment because no one heard a squib at all. It just sounded like 5 gunshots and then the gun died.
Right.
And then as I'm racking it, when I finally gave up, I realized there's a bullet stuck in the throat of the chamber, and that's why I can't chamber another round. And so I'm like, did it come loose? I immediately was thinking, well, I didn't hear a squib, so it had to have been, bullet was seated long, got caught in the throat, and then when I tried to rack it out, it stayed, and then I rack another one in and shove it in more, which that did happen. Took it apart, and yeah, there was a bullet in the barrel. Now, did you hear that little pop when I played that clip? I'm going to play a very short version of the actual squib happening. Here you go. Hear that cork pop?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yep. That's primer only. There was no powder. No powder whatsoever. No burnt powder, just a scorched bottom of the bullet. That was it. And I was a little confused, thinking like, is this just like residue from something else? And the more I thought about it, I'm like, you idiot. Of course it was a squib, because the primer going off was going to send some shit into the bottom of the bullet. And there was some shit, but the bullets I was shooting did have like exposed lead on the bottom. So I'm like, what? I was like trying to think my way through it instead of just the more obvious thing that happened. So yeah, 22 mics and was it 12 or 13 FTSAs?
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
By the way, kids, that's a 0. However, I like to be a glass half full kind of guy. I did have the best time on that stage of anybody in the match.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And because of hit factor scoring, it only could take you so low.
Right. I lost all the points on that one stage. I had all the rest of the stages left to shoot mics on.
Right.
And honestly, at that point, I had a mic on every bay so far. I decided to take on the attitude, if I don't average a mic per stage, I'm not going fast enough. Because this is a practice match at this point.
Right.
I'm shooting for practice. I'm going to see what I can get away with. And I did shoot one stage that was really good after that. But then I ate shit in the middle of it. I don't have audio of that. Luckily, I was wearing pants. I have these very light sort of golf pants I like to wear at matches, and I would have had road rash all over my right calf and shin had I not had pants on. I did tear up my right hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Our Mr. Fix-It Matt was running me on that stage, and he said, he was like, that was really impressive how you went down with the gun. You basically sacrificed your face for the gun. And
no greater compliment.
Yeah, I lost my hat and hat cam, so it stayed behind. And I did, for a split second, I was like, this has been the worst match of my life. And then this happens. And it was just like, just kick me while I'm down. Why don't we just have some frag from another bay, or like one of the ricochet bullets is just going to hit me in the left testicle and bruise the shit out of it at this point. Like, why not just have that happen while I'm here on my knees shooting all but the last target of this stage? And of course, I couldn't just shoot from my knees after I halfway got up. Nope, there's one more target I got to go over against the wall, but Mama didn't raise no bitch, so I finished. So, although for a split second, I did think about it.
Right?
I was just like, fuck this match. I'm so over it. I am so over it. But I finished the match. And then, like, was it my last stage? I think it was my very last stage was the second double bay. There was 3 paper targets and a port wall. One of the targets you could shoot was just left of that wall, and you started straddling the left fall line, which was right up against that leg of the wall. Being left-handed was very easy for me to draw, pick up a foot. I actually stepped as far to the left and leaned on my left foot. So on the beep, I could sort of push off and go bop, bop. Had a 0.9 draw. And,
Nice.
And Alpha Charlie. It was spicy. And then I just shot the middle target through the port. And then the the swinger was fast on it, but the activator was slow. So I saved the third paper, which you could also get from the end of this very short shooting area. It was just like a 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be a 10-round stage, I think it was. And so I saved that paper, and I came into the shooting area, activator, popper, paper, and swinger. And the second shot on the swinger went way the fuck over the top, and I had Charlie Mike, but it was spicy. Shot in like 4.76. I think only Steven shot it faster than me, at least in CO. I wasn't really paying attention to overall, but
all the cheater divisions.
Yeah, but I was still happy with it. Even I posted that one on Instagram. That video has been out there. It was a super fun little stage. I thought the stages were. It was a hard match. Like it looked easy, and there were some really challenging things in that match.
Yeah, you had to push the aggression, and a lot of the stages. I mean, Steel was not my friend. Steel was really not my friend on one. I may have attempted to get myself a 10-6 throwing a tantrum, but
I had a couple tantrums, and I threw 2 magazines.
I got popper fucked like hard. I'm trying to remember what bay it was. It was bay 5. I'll post it up on the Reddit. Andy's seen the video of me throwing a tantrum. I cut out part of it just because it's just me pouting more. But I legitimately shot the popper twice in the calibration zone. One at 6 o'clock, one at like 4:30. So kind of low in the calibration zone, but in the calibration
zone, yeah.
And initially, I proceeded to shoot the rest of the stage angry as fuck.
You're yelling in the middle. I think you were so right.
Because Foose had gotten screwed over because some of the poppers they were using had this weird like lever system.
No, it was actually a peg.
Yeah.
The front fallers had a peg, and it rested. It had a notch on one end, and then a skinnier notch on the other against like another plate in the base. And it wasn't my favorite popper that I've ever seen, but that's like all the poppers that the state bought from a local company that just started making poppers. So I think they're first gen from a local vendor.
Gotcha. Well, because so I thought this plate was was the same thing because Craig had gotten one on
yours was a rear faller though, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh.
So he'd gotten it on the Humvee stage where I think he shot it 3 times and it just didn't even move. And when they went and checked it, Bruce just looked at it and was like, oh, yeah, we don't even need to calibrate. That thing is just not going to fall. Like it is locked in place. And so I thought that's what had happened. And so I was just very angry because like I called 2 decent shots on it and finished extremely angry, and they our range master comes over, and first one he puts it right in the middle of the popper, falls down. I'm like, motherfucker. And then he was actually a cool dude. He put the next one like right in between my two shots. So he was like, hey, I'll put it, see if that, and it didn't fall back quickly, but it ended up falling, and I took the mic on it, and I was just so furious with it. I was so pissed for the rest of the match. It was hard to let go, because like when you see the bullet like full diameter hits at the bottom of the calibration zone and it didn't fall over, and then the next shooter shot it in like the stock of the popper and it fell down, I'm like, motherfucker. So
you know what that's supposed to mean, Jeff?
That I cheated?
That your ammo is not powerful enough to knock it over.
I guess that's the theory.
Did you pass chrono?
Oh, if only we had chrono.
You know what? I'm never going to run chrono at a level 2 ever again, because why? It's not required. There's no upside to it.
Nope.
Now, and there was a popper incident on my squad as well. My buddy Dustin, who's gone full Revo this year, he put 2 in on the below the calibration circle on a popper, but this popper's leaning over real hard. It had gone over everybody else that had shot it, but it wasn't going over fast, and it looked like it was slowly getting worse. So he shoots it twice. It doesn't go down. They weren't edge hits. They were below the calibration zone, but they were not edge hits.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, and Matt Waite was the RM, and he's a great dude. I really like Matt. He comes over, and sure, just like on yours, he center punches the calibration circle on that first shot, and down she goes. And then you have to do this ridiculous circle jerk of who reset that popper. Okay, you go correctly reset the popper the way you correctly or incorrectly did it before, with all of us watching.
Yep.
And so, of course, he shoots it again. And I don't remember where he hit it on the popper, but it went down. And I get that it's supposed to, if they're both in the calibration circle and both were below. But then the command from the RM immediately after this is adjust that popper. Okay, if it didn't require adjustment, then why are we adjusting it?
Right.
If it's properly calibrated, then why are we adjusting this?
Correct.
And that's a part of the rules I just hate. And I actually sent an email to the board last night because popper calibration is fucking stupid.
Yep.
It needs to go away. Just delete it. Treat it like plates. Call it a day. This whole circle jerk procedure does nothing but slow matches down. And the nationals you and I were at in Talladega, there were some I was amazed. That was my first nationals, and there were poppers set to just go down with 125 power factor ammo.
Yeah.
Like, just. Here's the thing, folks. I don't know if you knew this or not. You are allowed to shoot with some of your ammo below power factor.
Yep.
Because it's an average. It's a 3-round average. If you have 2 that are well above and 1 that is below, but you should have all of them be more than enough over. Yes. I know. But
right. Well,
most of us are reloading ammo, and most of us are kind of retarded when it comes to reloading ammo. I'm example number 1 right now. That was my gun squibbing.
Yeah. I was expecting more.
No, it was just the one little quick squib.
Yeah. And to your point, like we ran into this at Area 3 last year at the same range, that the wind kept blowing over the popper.
Yeah.
And if we would have been able to just lock the popper and like, yep, there's a full diameter fucking hit on the thing. Cool.
Yeah.
Move on. it would have sped up the match and made life so much easier for everyone involved. But it again, it's frustrating that I never had another popper issue the entire day. There was just this one popper that multiple people shot it, and like you watch it kind of like tip, 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 tip. Okay, now it falls over, and you're like, okay, that thing is right on the edge of whatever. And maybe I did have one or two. Somehow the 2 rounds I shot at it were the 2 sub minor rounds in the box. I don't know, but it's just frustrating to walk up and be like, okay, we all see that the 2 hits are in the place where they're supposed to be. Why the fuck can we not change this? So that was a struggle for me. Had to get my mind out of my hate mode. One of the things I ended up realizing is as I get more tired, I go more and more into turtle mode.
Yeah. You just don't have your gur. You lose your gur.
Yeah, and so sometimes people try to push harder and harder as the match goes on, and I was like, nope, I'm just going to shoot all of the alphas. And so like the last 4 or 5 stages, I have like 1 or 2 Charlies per stage, and that's it. Just all the alphas all the time. And so that's kind of going to be my new go-to strategy. It worked out for me overall. There was a little bit of heat there that kind of drove me down a little bit, but overall I didn't shit the bed afterwards trying to push the speed when I didn't have the speed left in the gas tank.
No, I did that. I went full retard the rest of the match, and I had a lot of fun doing it because when you have nothing left to lose, why not?
Right. When you stop giving a fuck is when you start having fun, Steven. And yeah, it's enjoyable. Just all right, fuck it, we ball.
No, the stage 10/12th stage of the match. I like the A and B, like the bay number and the stage, A, B, like to keep the bay numbers. The only problem there is they have to use like the middle of the bays, so the numbers weren't matching up, and that would have been a nightmare to just start with like stage. What was the first bay? 4 or 5, whatever.
Yeah.
I still like it that way. Anyway, stage 10 Palisades. I had 2 mic on that stage, and it didn't bother me at all. Because this is after lunch. Like, my match has already gone to hell. It was the second stage after lunch. But I just was going for it. Let's Ricky Bobby this thing. And that was a stage win for you, that one, actually.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you shot that in 15.99. Damn. I thought I was cooking right along at 18 and change, and you and a couple other people really... Jeez. There was one in the low 16s, another one that was just slightly faster than you. He just didn't have as good of points. You only had 2 Charlies on that stage. Damn.
Yep.
Steven was pokey, but he only had 1 Charlie. I wouldn't say he was pokey, but he was like 3 seconds behind your pace. But
right. Yeah, it everything kind of came together. I was last shooter, and it was kind of funny. We were having RO issues where the guy who shot like 2 ahead of me was looking at his score and was like, how did I have a 2 hit factor on that? Like, I didn't shoot it that bad. And we come to find out, and we're like, hey, dude, you need to go talk to the ROs like before, because I'm last shooter, and when I'm done, people are just going to fuck off. Like, you need to. And so I was trying to help him while I was getting myself ready for the stage, and everything's kind of worked out. It was a nice way to end the day. It was lots of interesting. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Ooh, we had an.
Wait! You didn't finish that story. What happened with his score?
Oh, sorry. The tablet RO heard 40-22, not 20-22.
Oh.
So he doubled his time, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think they reshot him. I think that they're like, hey, you have it on camera, us saying 20-22.
Mm-hmm. Video evidence is allowed. Perfect.
Right. Do you like? I think they gave him the option if he wanted to reshoot it or not, but I think he was like, "No, that was a good run. I'm good with it." But yeah, we unfucked that before I shot, and then we all got in our cars and drove the fuck away.
Was that your last stage of the day?
Yes.
Even the staff were not waiting around. Like, as soon as their bay was done, they left.
Oh, God.
Because there was no teardown or anything. And which, God bless Bruce for that, because they leave the stages up. They're going to use them for club matches, and other shooting sports are going to use them. I guess there's an IDPA club out there too now. So they're going to use some of the stages and just rearrange them a little bit and whatnot. But
that's fun.
Yeah.
But what that reminded me of is, because I ran into this RO at the gas station after that stage, but he didn't say anything to me, which I was like, "That you're annoying." But one of the guys on our squad, so the bay that you started on, where it had the 3 little poppers in the front left, and all these will be on the Reddit, so people can follow along. He went bang, bang, miss, and went forward to finish off the front. Well, the RO followed him up, thinking that he was just going to unload show clear, and he had pointed it afterwards. Well, the guy looked over and saw it, so he started running backwards, and the RO was in his way, and he kind of like, the way I remember it, he kind of put his hand out to stop the guy, but they were both, the momentum was going backwards.
Like,
and
it just...
The RO went through the wall, like broke one of the walls.
I have a funny anecdote along with that story. So Bruce's dad, Doug, was Mr. Fix-It.
Yep.
And he was telling me, he was stopped by our bay when we had a ghost squad, and I said, "Well, what's all getting broke, Doug?" And he's like, "Nothing. Not a thing. Everything's working perfectly." Mr. Fix-It to bay 4. We need a 7-foot wall. It was literally that fast. It was right after he said everything's fine, and then the radio call came from your bay.
That's awesome.
Because they needed a new wall.
He needs to not. You can't say that out loud.
No.
Like Doug,
no.
you freaking jinx yourself. But it is a lesson to all the ROs. You don't need to be like up someone's ass to get the time most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And B, if the RO would have been on, so again, we'll post this video, but you're on like the left side of the wall shooting everything. If the RO was on the right side of the wall, he would have been perfectly safe and out of the way of the shooter moving. One sec.
Oh,
sorry.
Snuck up on you. By the way, you can click anywhere on your name and it mutes you. I muted myself and was still talking.
I didn't have that screen up.
Yeah.
But so that was kind of a like, oh shit, that happened. I've never seen an RO go through a wall before. Luckily he was safe. Or he was okay. There was no injuries.
So he get a reshoot?
Yep.
Yeah.
RO interference.
Yep. No, I've gotten one I didn't get the RO interference call. A guy in my squad was like, "You should," but I'd already shit the bed on the stage. And this was like my first Area 3 match ever. I think back in 2018. And I just forgot like a whole set of targets and went on by, and then there was a long run, and then I realized I forgot them. And so then I turned around to go get them, and the guys running that stage were all old. I mean, they're all 60 plus.
Yep.
And they're trying to get back, and I'm just going to honor the rules of firearm safety rather than try to get myself a reshoot. So I just stood there and waited for the last guy to get out of the way before I shot the last 3 targets. And the guy in my squad was like, "Yeah, it's RO interference. He's in your way. And if you'd have shot," I'm like, well, I didn't want to shoot him. I didn't want to flag him.
And technically, that should have been that was interference, regardless. Like, because there was a kid at Dragon's Cup that got to the front of the stage where you had to bring all your mags with you, and he ran out, and so he just started running back towards where his mags were, and there were 3 ROs downrange, and he ran fast.
Yeah, it should have been RO interference, but it was my first Area 3, first level 3 match, and I was just like, I shit the bed on the stage, and I deserve it. So that was just kind of my attitude at the time, but so they were trying out the special pie timer at this match.
What is a special pie timer?
It's the official timer of IPSC.
Ooh.
And after playing with one on staff day, I ordered one for my club. and it arrived the next morning. I ordered it Saturday night, and it was at my house that Sunday morning. God bless Amazon. And I used it. My stage had that timer all day on Sunday, so I got pretty familiar with the basic function. Are you ready? Stand by. Beep. The beep in that thing is fucking loud. It is the loudest timer I have ever been around, or it's capable of being. It's super loud. It's shaped like a stopwatch. The thing that's weird, that would be weird for people to get used to, is once the shooter is done, you actually have to hit the stop button. So it's kind of like a stopwatch. The upper left button is the go, beep, and the upper left is the go, beep, upper right is the stop. So they can still shoot again up until you say, if clear, hammer down and holster. So once I got to that phrase in the range commands, then I hit the stop button. Because if they shoot a round off after that, it's a DQ. So no big deal. But I accidentally bumped the plus button that is on the front of it. There are a total of 6 buttons on this timer, and there's 4 little ones at the below the display. And apparently I bumped the top of the 2 of the plus minus buttons on the lower right, and it sent it into par mode. And the one thing that is not good about this timer is it is not intuitive. It is not simple to figure out by just playing with it. It will take time. It took me about an hour of playing with it today to kind of figure it out. Now, I could have read the instructions and figured it out much faster, but what's the fun in that?
Right.
So after figuring it out, whoever the Chinese guy that designed this thing that decided we're going to menu through this, and then the menu advance button is the one you hold to enter that menu. It was fucking stupid. But after you finally figured out the ridiculous operation of the menus, then you could kind of get around and figure it out. It's easy to switch in and out of par mode. It's not easy to switch in and out of like dry fire delay random mode. Like that's a whole deep menu thing. Right. However, it is rechargeable USB-C.
That's nice.
The battery lasted all day and had plenty left when I got done with it at Rushmore this weekend. Playing around with it, there's a walkthrough timer that you can set the time in the back end, which is not easy to get to. But once you set it, then you set it for the whole match. All you do is hold that minus button for 3.5 seconds, and then beep, it starts the 4-minute walkthrough. And then with 1 minute left, it'll go beep, 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 beep. And then when the walkthrough's over, it goes beep. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool feature. I like that a lot. I didn't use it at the match. I didn't figure out how to use it until today when I was playing with the one I got for my club. But the best thing about it of all, it's of course Bluetooth compatible. It sucks the times into practice score. The best thing about it is you can go on Amazon and buy it and get it the next morning.
Yes.
That is the best thing about it. You don't have to wait 24 months for a Russian guy to make one in his basement. You buy it and it shows up the next day. So it's not made in America, but at least you can buy it and get it in a reasonable amount of time. Yeah. So that was it. No, I thought the stages were super fun. Some people didn't care for the Humvee, but
the funny thing is, the Humvee wasn't the one my squad bitched about the most. It was actually your 2 stages.
Why?
So the plate, the center plate one, I don't like stages where if you miss something, you're stuck. And so there's like a distinct, okay, hey, you missed that. Okay, wait 2 seconds. Okay, now it's back. Okay, cool. I'm not a fan of that personally, so I bitch about that. And then there's just a little bit of the, we didn't super enjoy the 3 swinger stage. It just didn't tickle our pickle. Like it was just meh.
Yeah, because we couldn't just like shoot and flow on the move. it wasn't just shoot paper around walls and there's more paper and there's a wall and then we shoot the more paper and there's a wall. And look, here's 17 tuxes. Shoot the tuxes. Shoot the tuxes. Shoot the tuxes. Look, there's another paper. I got my butt low and I'm moving and I'm shooting and ba 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 ba. Solve the fucking problem, you whiny bitches.
Well, one of the problems is that you guys could not figure out how to reset that fucking stage.
Well, you guys were our first squad of the day. We got it figured out. But no,
I'm glad it got better because we had, 4 reshoots?
Yeah. Well, we just completely forgot to make sure a couple of them were actually reset. Well, here's part of the problem, though, too, was you guys would reset the first stage and then go, we reset a stage. We're done.
No.
Even though there was another whole stage to reset. There were some people that came out every time.
I think you're mixing it up because we always had at least 2 people at each target.
Not on the one with the 3 swingers. You did not. And no squad did a great job of resetting that stage. Like, you weren't special in that you weren't great at it. None of the squads were particularly good because it's so ingrained. Like, I already reset a stage, so I'm done. Like, it's just programmed. Like, I did the thing I'm supposed to do, so I'm done with it now. And it got forgot a lot, even though I would mention during the walkthrough, hey, remember, we got 2 stages to reset here. No, that was my bad. Twice, I forgot to double check that all the swingers were reset. And it wasn't like they were reset poorly. They were just not reset at all. Yeah,
one of them, you were checking, was it a Alpha or Charlie or something, and so the guy who had walked out there to do something had already walked away, and yeah, it just never got reset. But I don't know, that stage just didn't. I didn't find joy in doing that stage. There was satisfaction after the Humvee stage once I got my big ass back out. Oh, okay. The Humvee stage.
Oh, yeah.
There's one.
You guys had a DQ on that stage.
We did, and it's one legitimate thing. The ROs were doing their best. I mean, we were the first squad of the day on it, and they told us, "Hey, put the gun down in the safe position in the Humvee. Get out. We'll get the gun. We'll unload it. Da da da." And one of our guys got flustered with everything and ended up not taking the mag out. Racked it. Pulled the trigger. Boom. Done.
Somehow did not shoot the Humvee.
Right. Which the guy who owns a Humvee was like, oh, damn, that would have been cool to have a bullet hole. Like, but.
By the way, thank you, Sam, for letting him use the Humvee for the match.
So, yeah, like, I ended up not hating that stage. I had a mic on it.
It's actually a really cool stage, like, to shoot. Like, it was pretty dynamic movement, running around in the back.
Yeah, and there was a lot of shots from the Humvee, and
you could shoot some of them from the back if you wanted.
Yeah, but you had to go to the Humvee regardless. There wasn't really. I'd never heard of this rule before, and you could shoot it from the box.
Oh yeah, special accommodation penalty box. You could shoot from there if you could not get into the Humvee.
Yeah, and so that was interesting, and it
required RM approval to use. Like if somebody wanted to use that, they would call the RM, and the RM approved it.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, at least that was my impression. That was what I understood, was how that was done.
Okay.
Like, they were going to be pretty strict on it. Like, there had to be an actual legit reason to not do it.
Right, because they didn't just want someone to game the system. Like, I thought it was
it was
choice.
A stiff penalty, though. It was a 20% procedural.
Yes,
if
yeah,
you used it.
And that was the part that threw me off. Was I was just like, oh shit, okay, because I was maybe or may not have been trying to work out how I didn't have to do that, and
only one person used it, so.
Yeah, but yeah, it was, it's always interesting learning the rules.
Yeah.
But I came to not hate the stage. Would I shoot it every match I went to? No, I would prefer not to dive into a Humvee and be, contorted trying to shoot a target over my right shoulder, but it was nice to do. I'm really glad I didn't have a comp on my gun.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised the fabric roof survived with all the open shooters, but it did.
Yeah, that's shocking as well. But yeah, I think our first shooter was an open shooter, and you could hear that thing fucking vibrate.
Yeah, for sure. So there was you had a thing down here. That's a fun topic. Lessons we can learn from other clubs, and the first thing you put down was the Brucey boxes. I don't know if they're Bruce's idea. I think they're his dad's idea.
Yeah,
but
I think they're Doug's. But I just associate anything in the South Dakota area or in the Rapid City area with Brucey, and it's funny to call it the Brucey box.
No, I like it. The Brucey box. It's a fantastic idea, and I want to copy it. I just haven't yet.
Yeah, and it's so simple. It's
so simple.
It's the black and yellow boxes you get at Home Depot.
Yeah, like the little tote. It's like 1.5 feet by a foot.
Yep. You put a PVC pipe through it, and then that's big enough to
towards one end or the other.
Yep. And you put all your pacers on it. I think Bruce probably 3D printed the little things. I don't think you necessarily need those, but it just gives you a way to, and then you can just put the lid on and you just pull the pacers out. You just rip them against the lid. Done. So it's a great little system. I'm going to try to convince the more handy people at ENGC that we need to make them. They look simple enough. I'm just mechanically retarded. I
was standing by that box when Steven came up to grab pasters one time, and he lifted up the lid, and the zip tie just got put on the wrong end. They'll actually zip tie the lid on so you can't remove it completely. You can only lift it up from one end, but they zip tied it to the end that had the rolls of pasters on my bay, and Steven was immediately judgmental, like, "Oh, who's the idiot that put the zip tie on the wrong end? Like, this is terrible." As if it were his design. That's not how it's supposed to be put together. But no, it's fantastic. And then the stage brief goes in there. It doesn't blow away. Although we had a dust devil hit our bay. Like,
really?
A very violent little micro tornado hit my bay and only my bay. And the guys in the Humvee bay was the bay directly to the south or to the north of us. Like, I was in the second bay on the other side of the road, and then the other 15 bays or 13 bays are on the other side of the road. And this dust devil came into our bay and just blew shit off the table and broke a stick on one of our targets and just sort of caused a little chaos. And Tristan told me, well, yeah, we saw it in our bay, but it didn't really do anything in our bay. But, I mean, it was towering up. There's dust going all the way up. This little teeny tiny tornado blew through and wrecked shit. But yeah, no, the Brucey boxes are cool. There's another thing I'm forgetting about them. Oh, it's also shaded. Our boxes are clear. This is the thing I've learned about tablets. They don't like heat.
Yes.
So these boxes are not translucent. They do not pass light through. So it's not ventilated, but at least it's not turning into a greenhouse like the cheap totes I got at Costco do. They were cheap, but they cook tablets. So,
yep.
I also found out our tablets are not the best for Practice Score 2.0. We're going to have to order new tablets.
Oh, no.
Because all of ours peaked out at version 7 of Kindle Fire OS, and you need at least 8 for it to work properly, and that's part of our network issues from what I learned this weekend.
I'm a big fan of the little they're basically like little cell phones that our club has.
They don't sell those on Amazon anymore.
Oh no.
I know, because I was looking at them and they don't sell them anymore. There's other ruggedized phones, but they're expensive. They're all like $250, $300 a piece. So
yeah, that kind of invalidates the the goal of those ones.
Back to the $108 Kindles we go. But you head down under this lessons we can learn from other clubs. The best activator system. What is your activator system?
There are these. So we have it's a plate on the ground, and then it's a.
Your sticks. Yes.
Yeah, the tube arm, and then you can adjust, and it has like a little lip on it, and you can adjust it up and down the stick, and then you attach the stick to the activator of whatever you want it to be. They are fantastic.
And it's not only that, it's hinged to the ground. It doesn't roll away, fly away, bounce away. The stick, once it gets pulled by whatever's pulling it, it just falls down in that direction, and it's actually hinged by a bolt at the bottom.
Yes.
And there's a little, it's like a square tube that is adjustable, so it's got a pin that you can adjust up and down for whatever length you need, and then welded to this tube that is around another tube is a little 1.5 to 2-inch shelf that whatever it's holding up, the weight of a swinger, usually, is resting on that. And so when it pulls it away, it just pulls it away. And they work 100%. They're super easy to reset.
Yeah, that's
the best thing about them. They're super easy to reset.
Yep.
You can still occasionally with the wrong... I don't remember what your swingers look like, what the weights look like, but there's some swingers at my club or having just worked at Bruce's club that you could put it on the wrong thing, but it just depends on the swinger as long as that's marked correctly, like where you're supposed to hang this. I remember on my stage there was one of those too, and it occasionally somebody would put it on the wrong thing. But no, those are great. You should actually take a picture of those and put those on the Reddit.
Yeah.
Because those are fantastic.
And so these are just things I could think of off the top of my head. I've had a long travel day today. But anyone else who's gone to a club, maybe it's something from your own club that you realize is like, oh, this is gold. Like this, I wish this was everywhere. Put them in the Reddit. Let us know like what, because we have this thing where we get used to shooting at our own clubs and everything just becomes normal. Mm-hmm. And then you go to other clubs and you either go, holy shit, this is amazing. Or you go, I wish we were back at my home club because of X, Y, and Z. Put it in there.
I can think of two more. The steel shelters at your club that can be moved by a forklift on the tractor.
Oh, those are fantastic.
Those are good. I mean, they're not the cheapest, easiest thing to make, but anybody who's got any welding skills, and if the club's got money, and if you have a tractor or a forklift, obviously you've got money to build one of these shelters. But those are really cool. And then the front fallers, you'll see them when you go to nationals. The front fallers at SUPs. It's the only poppers they have, and their mechanism is a little complicated for the front fallers, but it works 100% of the time. They are bulletproof. I didn't see a single popper malfunction when I was there at nationals last year, and they're all exactly the same, whether they're minis or full size. It's basically they weld a flat piece of metal that's curled, and it's just basically two hooks. And so when you hit it, it lets go of the hook that the base, like the hook that holds the front faller up, comes up from the bottom, and it grabs it from underneath. And then when you hit it, it drops down, and then the popper falls. And I used to not like that because, if I want to drive it down, well, most of the time when I try to drive a popper down, I just miss a whole bunch anyway. So,
right.
And so do most. Even the good shooters on my on my bay and my stage. Excuse me. I just burped Summer Shandy. I would say the trying to make the poppers go down faster of the people who did it, I would say their accuracy was about 50% of rounds that hit the popper. Maybe.
Yeah. It was really sad.
Good.
It was really sad because Craig was the first one to shoot the stage and have to reshoot it, and he went bing, 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 and put 3 right in the calibration zone, and then it wasn't set. It was like, oh.
The swinger's standing straight up and down, and then he posted the video from the malfunction, and I go, fucking A. Yeah. Oh, man. I did all the cussing this weekend. It was fantastic.
I did a little bit of it.
Yeah. So there's a thing I saw in the rundown, and we can wrap it up here.
Okay.
But Steven is right. What is Steven right about, Jeff?
So I finally listened to the drunk episode.
It's fucking Tuesday.
Which I would play a drunk clip, but I accidentally deleted the whole page of buttons. I still have all the audio, but I accidentally deleted the buttons.
And
sorry.
So I got to hear where his drunken comments come from.
What the Jeff?
And he's 100% right that I have started coasting and that I got lazy and that I do need to try to put the work in.
You know what my favorite point of his about you was?
What's that?
You're the most not paper M ever.
I thought that was Nick that made that.
Oh, was that Nick? Oh, that was Nick at Cornhusker. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. You are the least paper M.
I took that as one of the great compliments I held on to.
It was, because I'm a paper M. Like, I am Mr. 79 to 81% when I shoot a major. Not this one, by the way, kids. I was like 64%. But, I mean, I zeroed a stage, and if you didn't beat me.
Yeah. And, I mean, I got Papa
I zeroed a big
and,
stage, too.
Yeah, that was the second biggest stage of the match.
Second or third, yeah. It was like, I think it was 27 or 28 rounds.
Yeah.
It was not good.
And...
Oh, by the way, I even got a text from Adam Grimm. He's like, what the fuck happened?
And that was it. It was fun listening to him. Like, all of his points were completely correct. I got lazy. I stopped practicing. Life kind of has gone in other directions that aren't USPA. And one of the things that happened was I was training out of spite. My first goal was to beat Joel. Or was it Thomas and Joel? It was to beat Thomas from my club because he used to be just this absolutely consistent dude, like 90% every time. Like you could
really good M class shooter.
Yeah, you could set your watch to
who's been shooting revolver all year.
Yes, and then Joel was the next target, and then I beat both of them at a major, and I was like, cool, who's next? And it's like Lane, and I'm like, shit, I don't have the autism to fight to be on the super squad. Like that's a level that I'm just not. I don't know that I'm prepared for. But I do agree with Steven that I need to unfuck myself. I now have someone to compete against.
I mean, Steven is sometimes he does shit that I'm just like, wow, that was kind of wild. On my stage, he was not fast. He wasn't terribly accurate on my stage, I don't think. But my stage was weird. Your score, I recall your score actually being quite good on that 3-swinger stage. There will be video. I'm actually going to post something on our YouTube with a bunch of the stages and just kind of talk about them this week. If it's not up by the time you hear this, it will be up sometime this week. But that's the 2 stages in my bay. Like you said, your squad didn't love them. There was more fucking discussion about how to shoot those 2 stages than probably any other stage in the match.
What's wild is, I guess,
but they weren't complicated.
Right, they weren't complicated, and I think there was I thought I did really fucking shitty on it.
No, but the key with the stage I was running, which was 3B, the X with the 3 swingers, just shoot points. If you shot the points and didn't have a terrible time, you were going to do really well. I think one of the RJ won that stage in CO
with 5 Charlie and 4 Alpha,
but he shot it in like just over 10, I think, which was
968.
Oh, 968. So he was pretty quick. That was about a second slower than me, but he had way better points than I did.
Right.
And I think I was second or third in CO.
You were second, and so I think I heard your time at 8, and so when I got 10, I was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm not even."
No, but you were just a little behind me. You weren't far behind at all.
And with 2 Delta, my brain was just like, fuck it, this one's over. Like, nah, don't even.
Yeah, you had the well, you were like 9% behind me, but
yeah,
but you still had the 5th best score. You were 1084 with 2 Deltas. I had 3 Alpha, 5 Charlie, and a Delta in 868. RJ had 4 Alpha, 5 Charlie in 968. And if you're like, why is the point so bad? Those swingers were a poke. They were not close. They weren't fast. They were very slow, old school. What's the Target company that does all the indoor ranges? I think they're based in Minneapolis. I can't think of it. Action Target.
Okay.
They were old action target swingers, and they're super slow. They don't move real fast. They just they're made for cops to shoot swingers,
Right.
And they're not real fast, and they activated slow. And like the slow activation is what made that stage interesting, because you had a lot of time to do other things if you had the balls to do other things. And I actually was helping deliver lunches before I came and shot that stage on staff day. Bruce let me have a golf cart if I delivered lunches to the far bays. And I was like, yes, sir, I will do that, because I miss having a golf cart. I'm about ready to rent a golf cart for every fucking major I go to now. Like,
Yeah.
I hate not having a golf cart. I got spoiled running a match and having a golf cart, and then when you're not running the match, they don't give you a golf cart. It's bullshit. It's not bullshit. It's 100% fair. But anyway, I came back and I'm like, God damn, those things are slow. Oh, I'm going to shoot the popper and then the swinger and and then run to the end and finish.
Right.
That looks like it'll be faster. And my points weren't great, but I was way faster than everybody on my squad. So
Right.
it was when you see the video of that stage, that was a cool one. I enjoyed it. For a
Right.
short course, I thought it was pretty cool. You Omaha assholes all were like,
Right. But
where's the tuxes
So-
at? Where the
so with a
tuxes
little-
at?
With a little bit of training, I can be competitive with Steven again. And
You
try
should
to-
be a GM. You're not, because you just aren't. And I should be a competitive M, not a paper M. Honestly,
Yeah.
because like last year I was coasting a lot. I've actually been that was the thing that pissed me off so much about this match. Like I was fucking livid because I was actually training. Like I was practicing.
Yep.
Like getting ready for this match. Like I'm just working it. I'm gonna have a whole day to just shoot. I'm not gonna have to deal with bullshit. I'm not a match director. A lot of people thought I was the co-match director. I wasn't.
right.
They were
Like, I
just
ain't
used to me
doing
being
shit.
half in charge at Area 3, so they thought I was still in charge. I'm like, this is not my circus. These are not my monkeys. I have nothing to do with this, except I'm working it and shooting it. And so right out of the gate, 2 mic FTSA, second stage, I've got 2 more mic, third stage, 1 mic. And then I shot a really good 4th stage, and then I died on the 5th stage. So, yeah. But it was what it was. Bruce was going through, because it was a state championship, so he's going to have plaques for the state champions in each division. And I was like, because he had to go down a ways in CO before he got to a South Dakota resident, who was the, let's see, let me find him. There's some dudes from New Mexico that came up.
Yep.
Which was cool. There were some dudes from Idaho, Oklahoma. Like there were some people that traveled to come to that match, which is, I'm still amazed it was not sold out. Like there was a lot of slots left. But
Yeah, it was kind of strange, but it was also kind of a weird time.
it was, because it was 2 weeks after Cornhusker, at least for the regional people. It was 2 weeks after Cornhusker. If you shot Great Plains and Cornhusker, it's like,
Right. Cornhusker State Games was going on, which
that took a bite out of the Nebraska people.
Yeah, and then I feel like there was another match that may grab people. And
Well, there were no North Dakota people because Adam Grimm was doing a class up in Minot.
yeah,
So
and
all those
it's-
guys didn't come down. Or
Yep.
most of those guys didn't come down.
Right, and so I don't know, like, because Area 3 did pretty well, and
Yeah, the only thing that kept that down was the fact that it was a world shoot going on at the same time. Otherwise, there would have been a shitload more heat there.
right.
But
No, I just realized I'm high M.
oh, you're a first M?
Yep.
Congratulations, Mr. Paper M. Or not Paper M, the least Paper M. Yeah,
Least paper M at 92%.
and should be a GM. I'd also like to take this moment to make fun of Aaron, who had he just shot CO instead of LO with his Glock because it's the same gun. I don't know if he even bothers to put a mag well on when he shoots LO. If he would have shot CO, he would have got a match bump.
Ha ha.
But that was the thing Steven mentioned to me over text that because he made GM last week, so it was actually going to affect Rushmore as to whether or not people got a classifier score out of it. Which, thanks, Steven, for making GM when I shot the worst fucking match of my life. And it's going to count. It better not count. it better always be the one, as long as it's in my most recent 8, it better be one that doesn't count.
it doesn't count.
It doesn't?
It was a level 1.
No, it's a level 2.
It was?
Oh, yeah, it's a level 2.
People were saying it was level 1.
No, it's level 2.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, it'll count as a classifier. 100%. But level 2's as you know, chronograph is optional. But, no, we had a certified RM at the match, and it was, stages were turned in. I mean, that's the only difference between a level 2 and a level 1 is you turn in the stages to an ROI. That's it.
Right.
That's the only difference. The other big match things that are, supposed to be all highfalutin, you don't have to have a certified RM. The first 2 Great Plains matches that I hosted, our former section coordinator, Robert Olson, was the range master because he was the biggest rules nerd I knew. And I didn't realize Thomas Howard was an RM. I didn't know.
Those minor details.
Yeah, I had no idea who was an RM. And then after the second one, he goes, I'm actually a certified RM. I was like, oh, really? I didn't know that. Because he worked the match every year. Yeah. And so I was like, well, sure. And then the next year was the Hit Factor match when we were protesting. And I asked him if he wanted to be the RM. He's like, nah, I'd rather just work a stage. Right. So then I was the RM and match director that year. And because it was Hit Factor. Who gives a shit? Right. Fuck it. But, and then Thomas has been the range master for Great Plains the last 2 years. So, yeah. And now he's an RMI. So now we've got a dude close by to do RO classes. Yay. Which is nice. Because we need some more CROs. And although that's a class, though, that
it's very, very poorly set up.
Oh, no, not the CRO class. I strongly disagree. I got a shitload out of the CRO class. The RO class we had when Matt, who the guy that was the range master for Rushmore this weekend, he was the instructor for the 1-day RO class we had at my club. Yep. And it was the first time he'd done one of those, but when I submitted the form for it, I was like, I'm only doing this if we can do it in 1 day. Because I'm going to get people who will come because it's 1 day. And I would guess half of the guys that came were longtime shooters, but they're like, I'm not blowing a whole fucking weekend in the summer for an RO class, but I'll blow a Saturday for it. And so we actually had a fairly full RO class. The CRO class is 2 days, and I don't know if you could do that in 2 days. You maybe could, but it'd be tougher because I actually learned a lot in the CRO class. A lot. It's about proofing stages and, and designing stages, challenges and stages. It's a lot deeper. The CRO class is way better than the RO class. Especially since most ROs take the RO class after they kind of already know what's going on. So it feels like you're in the high reading group in elementary school and they make you go with the low reading group. Is kind of how the RO class felt to me. I'm not saying it's that bad. I'm just saying there could be more online and it could be all in 1 day.
Right.
Yeah. And while I'm talking about USPSA organizational shit, I mentioned earlier, I actually sent an email after this weekend to the board about popper calibration. Just, hey, let's throw this at the rules committee and see if they come up with a plan. Because I know
we shall see.
Most of the board has no interest to change it because half of them are RMs and they're like, what's wrong with it? It works fine. We are RMs and we think it works fine. Yes. And you can't read English either when it says short-barreled fucking rifle. But I did get one reply from my very late night email that I sent last night. And of course, it was from Billy Harrington, the Area 6 director. And he kind of didn't say that, well, nothing's probably going to happen with calibration, but he did say he totally agreed with me. And
hell yeah.
No one on the board really seems to care, but But a thing I suggested was like, hey, if we shit can chrono, or not, pardon me, if we shit can calibration, then make chrono mandatory at level 2s. Which I think Billy pointed out that the chrono system is also stupid because everybody goes through it. You know how easy it'd be to cheat at chrono?
Yeah.
Super easy.
You just have
Like,
a box full of chrono ammo.
Here's my 8 gold dots. Yep, that's the ammo I'm shooting today. Sure. There you go. Okay.
Yep.
You got my ammo? Okay. The only time I've ever had chrono grab ammo off my belt was at Minnesota section in 2020. The chrono guy said, "Here, hand me a mag off your belt." Okay. Because it was the same fucking ammo, so I wasn't scared. You know, I don't know if they caught anybody, but Billy said he is far more in favor of 25% randomized testing. Just, it's like a piss test.
Yeah.
You're randomly going to get selected. Then you don't have this giant stage you have to do and like fulfill. You have to do this thing. Everybody has to go to this other stage that's fucking dumb and nobody wants to deal with.
I love it when it DQs new people who've never done chrono before and you're like, God damn it. And
Yeah, you DQ on chrono because you're not sure what to do because you've never been there before.
Right, because it has none of the same procedures as anything you've ever done before, and so you walk up.
That's the
put
thing,
your gun
though.
on the
It
table,
does, but it feels like it doesn't.
Right,
but
because it's like, okay, you're and they do explain it. They're like, hey, you're going to draw your gun, you're going to put it on the table, or on my make ready, you're going to put the gun on the table, and then I'm going to do all the shit, and then I'm going to put it back on it. You're going to unload and show clear hammer down holster, then you're good to go. And once you've done it once or twice, you're like, okay, this is fine. It's dumb, but it's fine. But I've seen a number of people get DQ'd because like it tends to be they walk up and they just pull the gun and put it on the table, which you're like, technically no one has been unsafe in this situation, but fuck.
Yeah. Did the muzzle come anywhere close to anybody? No. Like, no, you just didn't say 2 words.
Yep.
5 seconds before he did the thing.
Yep.
Billy also said he thinks the overall time wasted is more with calibration calls than it is with range equipment failures from poppers not following and reshooting them. So, but, and I 1,000% agree with him. Like, let's just, I guess he did give me some info though that I did not know previously. I guess the rules committee is working on putting plates back into level 3 matches.
Oh, fun.
So we had some just regular falling plates in a club match we had here a month or 2 ago, and it was an all steel stage. It was super fun stage. Now, did 1 or 2 of those steel plates fall down when you hit the guard? Yeah, but was it the end of the world? No. I guess there is going to be a part of the update in those rules is there has to be steel hardcover protecting the hinge or mechanism, for falling plates. The trick with falling plates is basically lean them all the way over. If they're on a hinge, lean them all the way forward, like a plate rack. The Sioux Falls Practical Shooters, they have a plate rack. Lean those bitches way forward. Because then when you hit the guard in front of it, it just rocks them and they don't fall. And if you hit them, they still go down every time. Unless Carson designs the stage and you're shooting them from about a 170-degree angle, then they might not go down. And you might send bullets off the range after you hit one of those plates.
Idiot.
I was on the next bay over when people were shooting that stage, and I'd never heard bullets leave this range before. Like that's my OG home club, the first club I ever shot at, and I've never heard a bullet go ying overhead ever. And that day, I heard a couple when we were on the next bay over. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And we get over there, and I'm like, oh, the angle on that one shot, that's what's doing it. Those right ones. It was a great stage, though, Carson. It really was. Oh, by the way, Carson clubbed all the baby seals at Rushmore. He was the high overall, 1 LO. I don't think we mentioned that. We didn't mention anybody who won. We should mention that real quick.
Okay, we'll end with that.
We'll end with that. I don't have it up. Where is it?
Oh, okay, so...
Okay.
Carry optics.
Craig won Carry Optics. Steven got second. Well, at least he lost to a GM.
Right.
The first three
Craig-
finishers were GMs and CO
Right, and they were all at a competitive rate.
within
Craig did not
2%
shoot
of
like-
each other.
Craig did not shoot like the Craig I expected to shoot.
He did not shoot a penalty. He's one of the few people that shot penalty free.
Yep.
This was a tough match to get out of without a mic.
Yep. Limited Elias
Frangulis.
won that one, followed by Brian Mortensen and Stephen Easton.
Don't skip over L10.
Limited Optics, Carson Arnberry.
Don't skip over L10.
Then Nick Martirosian.
I have no idea how to say his name, but he's very good.
Yes, and then some guy named Aaron took third. Open.
Yeah, Aaron's been
Zachary
kicking ass
Schertz.
this year.
Uh,
Zach Schertz. You know what? Here's the funny thing about Zach. He lives in Spearfish, South Dakota, and basically he shoots every local between Forest Lake and Spearfish.
Jesus.
Yeah. He can
lot
do that
of
with
driving.
his job.
Gotcha. Spencer Miller, another South Dakota,
Yeah.
and Lynn
Ask
Tran.
him about his mom and the helicopter.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
PCC Archie Turner won.
There was actually a fair number of PCC in this match.
Yeah. Well, Archie Turner is a junior A
Oh,
class.
yeah. Oh.
Who beat a
Couple of
GM,
GMs.
yeah. And then Steve Newman came in third. Brett
Sioux Falls
Loman
guy.
came in second. Production doesn't matter. Revolver Thomas Howard won, followed by Kurt Ulrich and Chris Rhodes. Don't care
He's-
about
He's
single
skipping
stack.
over production because Austin shot slow as fuck. And he shot 212 alphas and 42 Charlies in 236 and won. Basically, and I was on his squad. Austin, I love you, but that was like the slowest shooting I've ever seen. It was just, he was taking his sweet ass time. So Austin shot it in 220. What did I say? 226?
236.
236. Okay. I shot it. I finished 21st in CO. Granted, I had a stage that I only shot in like 379 because, 0. 178. If I'd shot that whole stage, I'd probably shoot it in about 180, probably about 192 or something like that.
Yeah.
So he could have gone faster. But
Yep.
he's just
And so Tyler Amundsen came in second, and Josh Urban came in third.
Oh,
So,
Josh is such a great dude. I had supper with him on Saturday night. He shot on our
Nice.
squad too. Yep. All right. We've
that note-
gone on and on enough for a regional match that most of you don't care about, but we hope it was still entertaining.
it was fun.
I have something very funny that a Colorado dude suggested I do with my squib because he thought it sounded rhythmic. And I was like, you know what? You're right, Eric. It is very rhythmic. So I did some Adobe Audition audio editing today, and I did some guitar playing, and I'm going to put some more touches on it before Jeff and I in a couple days record the Patreon episode, and that'll be on the Patreon. It'll be fun. I'm already pretty happy with it. I'm not going to sing on it, but I'll play some guitar on it. Anyway, he's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.